Once upon a time, in a cozy little town named Waggletown, lived a funny dog named Ziggy. Ziggy was no ordinary dog. He was a fluffy, brown ball of energy with a mischievous twinkle in his eye. Ziggy loved to play, but more than anything, he loved to make everyone laugh. Every morning, Ziggy would bounce out of his doghouse with boundless excitement. He had a special routine that made everyone giggle. First, he would do his famous morning wiggle. Ziggy would wiggle his bottom from side to side as he trotted around the yard. His fluffy tail would spin like a propeller, making the birds laugh and the squirrels pause in their scurrying to watch. One sunny day, Ziggy decided to have an adventure in the park. He bounded through the open field, his ears flapping like a pair of silly wings. Ziggy's best friend, Bella the cat, was lounging on a sunlit rock, watching him with amusement. "Hey, Bella," Ziggy called out with a cheerful bark. "Want to come on an adventure with me?" Bella, who was known for her calm demeanor, stretched lazily and replied, "What kind of adventure?" "The kind where we find the biggest, silliest stick in the park," Ziggy announced, his tail wagging furiously. Bella rolled her eyes, but couldn't resist Ziggy's enthusiasm. "All right, let's go," she said with a sigh. Ziggy and Bella set off, Ziggy sniffing around excitedly. They explored every nook and cranny of the park, from the flower beds to the big oak tree. Ziggy's nose led him to all sorts of interesting smells, and Bella followed, trying to keep up. As they wandered, Ziggy spotted a particularly large stick lying under a bush. He dashed towards it with a joyful bark. The stick was so big that Ziggy had to drag it across the grass. Bella watched, amused, as Ziggy pulled and tugged with all his might. "I found it!" Ziggy declared triumphantly, panting and wagging his tail. "The biggest stick ever?" Bella chuckled. "It's a great stick, Ziggy, but don't you think it's a little too big for you?" "Nonsense!" Ziggy exclaimed. "This is the perfect stick for a perfect adventure." With Bella's help, Ziggy managed to carry the stick to the park's playground. There, Ziggy had another grand idea. "Let's play fetch," he suggested. Bella raised an eyebrow. "How can we play fetch with a stick that's bigger than you?" Ziggy thought for a moment, then his eyes lit up with another silly idea. "We can't throw it, but we can roll it." So, Ziggy and Bella rolled the enormous stick across the playground. It was a hilarious sight. The stick would wobble and bounce, and Ziggy would chase after it, his floppy ears bouncing with every step. Bella, who was more agile, would guide the stick in zigzag patterns, making the game even more amusing. As the sun began to set, Ziggy and Bella were exhausted but happy. They had spent hours laughing and playing with the giant stick. Ziggy lay down on the grass, his tongue lolling out in a big, goofy grin. Bella stretched out beside him. "That was quite an adventure, Ziggy," she said with a contented purr. Ziggy looked at his friend and said, "I couldn't have done it without you, Bella. You're the best adventure partner ever."